What do you plot against the Lord? He will make a full end. He will not rise up twice against his foes. Like entangled thorns, they are consumed, drunken as with their drink, like dry stubble. From you comes forth one who plots against the Lord, a wicked counselor. Thus says the Lord, though they be strong and many, they will be cut off and pass away. Though I have afflicted you, I will afflict you no more. So that's 3 more verses of the Book of Nahum, chapter 1, 9 to 12. And we're hearing a lot about plots against the Lord. Now, the key theme of the Book of Nahum is the fall of Nineveh, capital of the Neo-Assyrian Empire. So we can probably assume that he's talking about the fall of the Ninevites, the Neo-Assyrian Empire. But of course, everything is not just about them. It's also about anyone. It can be applied to anyone who's plotting against the Lord. They're saying, oh, these people that commit themselves to darkness, to wickedness, these people, these forces, they can plot, they can scheme, they can do all that, but it's ultimately not going to get them anywhere. And the way it describes it is that their plotting and their scheming brings about their own end, hoisted by their own petard. So it uses the phrase like entangled thorns, they are consumed. I know a fair bit about entangled thorns because I've got a wildlife garden. And there's not a lot of entangled thorns, but there's some. And so they get entangled by their own barbs. They'll get all twisted up. Drunken as with their own drink. So, like people who've got drunk, it's them. They've got themselves drunk. That's what's happened. So they've brought themselves down. They won't succeed. He will not rise up twice against his foes. Well, that's saying, Lord's not going to have to come back for another go. When he strikes, and down they fall. Doesn't need to try again. It says that they're strong and many, they're cut off and pass away. So we can think about people in our lives or in our world who are working against the Lord, just saying, well, it will end. It will end. They will not succeed through the power of the Lord ultimately. For example, the fall of the great city of Nineveh and the Neo-Assyrian Empire. Final words that we heard were, though I have afflicted you, I will afflict you no more. And just before that, the verse before that, it says, from you comes forth one who plots against the Lord. So who is you? Because verse 11 sounds like he's talking about an enemy of the Lord, like the Assyrians. Then verse 12 sounds like he's talking about the people of Israel. And the following verse 13 really emphasizes that he's talking about people who are going to be set free. So who is you? We see this quite a bit in the latter half of this first chapter of Nahum, that you keeps changing all the time. 1 minute you is the Lord talking to enemies like the Assyrians. Next minute really sounds like he's talking to the people of Israel. So there's quite a bit of ambiguity there. It keeps chopping and changing. I think that's deliberate. I think it's deliberate, and it emphasizes that we all have within us a bit of Israel and a bit of Assyria. It's talking to human beings. It's talking about people who can go either way. Either way. So I think that's why there's 1 minute you is someone who is against Lord, and 1 minute you who's someone who is a victim. I think it's deliberate ambiguity, and I really like that. I think that's very interesting. Join in next time tomorrow for another video on the next 3 verses of the first chapter of Nahum.